So I've got the perfect solution for you if you want to max the next step in your career. It revolves around YouTube, but not in the way you think. Let me explain with a quick story. Through much of my career, I was a lawyer working in the city, and as a partner in a US law firm, I was responsible for hiring trainee solicitors. And through that hiring process, it became really clear to me that there was a generational divide between the people that I was hiring and others in the firm. A difference between Generation X and generations Y and Z. And whilst there is a difference between those generations and baby boomers in the context of ease of understanding and working with technology, that really isn't our issue, a Generation X issue. The really big difference I saw between their generations and mine was in relation to presenting. Everyone we looked at was at ease when it came to standing up in front of a group of people and presenting on a topic. It was not something that fazed them at all. Whilst I'm sure they were anxious, I'm sure they felt the weight of the situation, they rose to the occasion and didn't appear to have any nerves at all. And that really did set them apart from those certainly in my generation, where presenting was not the norm. And that certainly is my Achilles heel, standing in front of an audience and presenting. And it may be something that's holding your career back as well, because these days, in order to move ahead in our careers, it's something that is really very important to be able to present at conferences, to be able to stand up at work and present presentations. You're going to want to be seen as the expert, and having nerves, not being able to perform at your best in a group presentation situation will really let you down. And so if you've always shied away from presenting at conferences, from being on camera, then YouTube actually is something that might well help you. Let me explain why, what to expect in the first month, why YouTube is a great answer, but not necessarily for the long term. And I'll also talk about what is. So why experiment with YouTube? Well, most importantly, it gives you practice in front of a camera. And talking in front of a camera is really difficult. Take it from me, I'm doing it and it's incredibly difficult. You should see how many cuts there are in this edit. If you're anything like me, your brain goes to mush the moment you appear in front of a camera or in front of an audience. But I think that having the opportunity to present in front of a camera regularly will slowly change that. At the very worst, it gives you practice once a week at least to present something. And by doing that, it gives you the time and the space to get better at presenting. It also helps you hold yourself to account. If you're serious about YouTube, you have to upload consistently. You need to set yourself a timetable so that you end up uploading at least once a week, preferably twice a week. Personally, with a full-time job, once a week is more than enough. It takes 5 to 10 hours a week to record and edit a video, and I certainly can't spare more than that. But by setting this as a minimum target, effectively YouTube is holding you to account for uploading and therefore for presenting in front of a camera at least once a week. And actually, whilst that's probably enough to help develop your career, you learn so many additional skills, and you learn them really quickly by having to do this. You learn design skills, you learn editing skills, and you learn photography skills. But most importantly, I think for your careers, you also learn copywriting skills. Developing thumbnails, headlines, developing an outline script all require copywriting skills, and you're going to need to get good at them if you're going to develop followers and subscribers. And that process actually of writing, of publishing, and then reviewing how that did is such a quick feedback loop that you can use that to further enhance your skills really quickly. It's an amazing process. Obviously, I'm working on all these skills, and as you can see, I've got a huge way to go still, but I do know that I've improved since the first video I did. I also know that the copywriting skill is probably the most important of the skills I'm going to learn beyond just being on camera. If you need to be able to sell your services, if you need to be able to be seen as the expert in an area, then the copywriting skills as well as the camera skills you learn through YouTube is going to be incredibly useful. Having to practice these skills and trying to get just a tiny bit better, just 1% better each week in the medium to long term has a transformative effect. So let's say you do give it a go, commit to YouTube, do a video a week. Well, what should you expect in the first month, which is really all I can talk about at the moment? Well, I've uploaded 4 videos so far. This is my 5th. And as I've explained, I've learnt a huge number of new skills. I'm still really terrible at all of them, but I am slightly better, maybe quite a bit better than I was when I first started. And I know that that learning curve is going to continue to rise really, really steeply. And trying to improve one thing each week hasn't really been very difficult so far. I really have so much to improve on. But I can see that just getting that impetus each week to make a slight improvement means that I am going to continue to improve my skills in all these areas. And if you're watching this, you'll probably agree with me that my worst area so far is my performance on camera. I really need to get a lot better at this. I'm going to talk in a minute about some really easy ways to get started. But in your first month, really it's quite straightforward. The key thing really is just to put aside some time, and you need between 5 and 10 hours each week. You need to put that aside to really focus on this, to come up with some ideas for videos. It really doesn't matter what they are at the moment, to script those broadly, and then to set time aside, most importantly, to sit down, sit in front of the camera and video yourself going through that script. After that, the longest part of the process is editing, and you can get quicker at it. I think the key point is it's doable even with a full-time job, and it's well worth it. And if you want guidance on how to start, then my go-to person was Ali Abdaal. Just look up his videos. He's got a number of videos which talk about how to start on YouTube. Then I looked at a Skillshare course by Ali. You have to subscribe to Skillshare. It's about £80 a year. I thought that was probably the cheapest way to get hold of a course. The course isn't very long, it's only a few hours, but it really does give you everything you need to know from starting from zero to being able to publish your first video and then subsequent videos. And once you've got started, certainly what I'm then working on, as well as trying to be on camera as much as possible, is on my thumbnails and on my editing skills. And there are courses on Skillshare which are helping me with that too. So slowly I'm hoping to improve those as well. And as Ali Abdaal says, the first 50 videos are for me to improve. After the first 50, I'm probably just about good enough to start to make videos that are really videos that you might actually want to watch. I can see that I've got a huge way to go before I'm okay in front of a camera, but I'm okay with that. That's the whole purpose of this. I just need to put in the reps. But I promised to talk about why YouTube isn't the long-term answer. YouTube is exactly the right place to practice. After 50 videos, you'll be as good at presenting as any generation Y or Z, and you'll also be better at selling yourself. But YouTube really isn't the platform for developing your profile. You need to use LinkedIn for that. And LinkedIn now has a video capability, and that's really a key angle to use. I hope you liked this video. The next video is there. Please have a look. Please subscribe. See you next time.